Hello everyone and welcome to a VPL5 T10 team preview. I am Stacey and Analyse, and we are here to present a team preview on the Fort Charlotte Strikers. It's a team that always looks full of potential but never quite got it right to get into finals. Their best finish ever was third, but can they turn things around and turn this potential into success? I have with me the experts, Alanson Cruikshank and Ken Roymat. Introduce yourself, Dave.
Yes, good day to all of our viewers, fine, Instagram or Facebook, or on any of the other platforms. We are looking here today at the team, the Fort Charlotte Strikers team. They finished in the penultimate position last year, and it's a team that over the years, they have struggled to really get beyond that state of play. In VPL3, I think they got into the playoffs when Miles Bascom had a good season for them as leader, and the team really lifted their performance in that tournament. But so far, it has been quite a bit of a struggle for them. And they've been looking to make a difference this year. They have a lot of experience in their team this time around, a lot of new personnel, and I'm sure they will be wanting to go a lot further than they have in the past. Generally.
Welcome to the viewers. I'm Ken Martin here, coming to you live from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, a beautiful island. It's in the Caribbean Sea here. Strikers, they have played for all the tournaments. They have struggled, yes, but they had some bright spots. I think that what is very important in this team here is that because they have made a lot of changes, and they have teams who have won tournaments, who have played with successful teams in this setup. So that would bring a different feeling to the team and bring a different vibes. So hopefully that would work for them in this tournament.
As we've mentioned, that they look like a whole new unit, a lot of new players in their team. So let's just do a quick rundown of the team they have this year. They have Gidron Cope, captain, Ray Jordan, he's a returning player, always with them. You have Salvan Brown, Roy Williams, Alston Bob, Carlos Brathwaite, Hiram Shadow, Kevin Abraham, Shem Brown, Winston Samuel, Jerome Jones, Bracy Brown, Donwell Hector, and Kevin Joseph. So we see that's in a best 11 for this team. He could just break it down into the batting and the bowling section. So Alanson, I'll have you start off and tell me a bit about what they can expect with the batting.
All right, so I'm just going to go through the 11 quite quickly that we selected. Pope as captain opening, Salvan Brown, Roy Williams, Hiram Shallow, Brathwaite, Hector, Bob, Abraham, Jones, Jordan, and Winston Samuel. So in terms of the batting, of course, Pope had a very good tournament last year. So he came back into the tournament, fit and raring to go last year, and he scored a lot of runs. And I think that he'll be looking to pick up where he left off during this tournament as captain, and he'll be wanting to make that mark on his team. A few years ago, when he played for West Indies under-19, a lot of bosses were looking to him to go, on to big things, and it's never too late. So I'm sure that he still has his eyes on representative cricket at higher levels. So he wanted to show that point during this tournament. Brown, in the very first tournament, was very dynamic. Has not been as effective in the last three editions of the VPL as Salvan. Of course, we know that there are several Brown brothers in the tournament, so I have to specify which one.
The Brown team.
yes.
I feel like they can have their own team.
Yeah, they have five brothers in one tournament, so it's a lot of them. So Salvan was the eldest. We've been looking to have a very good tournament this time around because I think that he will have a point to prove that he can still do what he did in VPL1. And then we have Seal Roy Williams, the twin brother of Seal Run. And he is a very good left-hand batsman. Hiram Shallow, we expect him to be in the side as well. We call him most runs in St. Vincent because almost every tournament he plays, that is what he aims to do, get the most runs. Experienced player, he has played for the Windward Islands. And of course, we have the big man himself, Carlos Brathwaite. Remember the name a few years ago, hitting those 4 sixes in the final against Ben Stokes in 2016 at Calcutta. in the T20 competition, the World T20. And of course, the experience Donald Hector, the former Windward Islands batsman, and the all-rounder Bob, who I'm sure Kenway would also mention from the bowling perspective. Bob, my former classmate as well, so throw that in there for him. Mr. Bob.
Yeah, it's a team that I looked at, and I'm wondering to myself, how do they maneuver that power half order? You have Hiram Shallow, he's usually an opener. You'd run Paul for more than likely open the batting after the good season he had this last year with the Hikers. You also had Salvan Brown, and I mean even Carlos Brathwaite himself. Lidland James' new coach might be tempted to even throw him at the top. You know, so it's something that I was thinking about this team. I think once they get that right, the batting combination, I think they'll be a very disruptive team.
Well, one thing I think that they should just think too much with the batting. Okay. Well, whatever they decide at the beginning, they need to think very clearly about it, decide on that. Maybe experiment in the first game or two, if you have to try something, all right? And then what you have, maybe have two options, and you see which option works better. You go with that throughout the tournament and stick to that, have confidence. Because the chopping and changing and the shifting will leave the team without any role clarity, and that will be very detrimental to their success.
Yeah. Well, go ahead. Well, the strikers, as you said, they are top heavy. They have a very good batting lineup. But what they need to do is have 5 solid batters at the top. Give them the roles and their functions. In the bowling aspect of it, who would they turn to? Ray Jordan has been a part of this team for a number of years. What has happened to Ray Jordan is that they have not taken the opportunities. When he bowls, and it presents that opportunity, they are not taking those opportunities. So he would always be key for them. Also in the bowling department, Alston Bob, very tight bowler. He's experienced as well. Brathwaite with the ball, he could do very well for them as well. So the bowling looks good. The batting looks good. Just getting the people in the right position, doing the job that they are asked to do, again, would do the job for strikers.
It's a good thing that they sort of strengthened their bowling as well this year. I just remember in past editions, they've sort of didn't have reliance on Ray Jordan to execute for them. And after his 2 overs, who else did they have? So it's not that they have some experience in the bowling to come in PPL5. PPL 224, it sort of looked to Miles Bascom to be the man to score runs for them. And usually you see if he don't score runs, they don't really do well in the tournaments. And Ray Jordan, he's a key man with the ball as well. In terms of effect, who do you think will be the influential player, the most effective player in the tournament for the fourth shot at strength? Well, it's hard to look past a man like Carlos Brathwaite. He has over 2,000 across all the franchises that he turned out for. And he also has over 200 wickets with the ball. And I also think he'll play a great role in leadership in the team. General Pope is the first-time captain in this competition. So he'll be one of the persons that will be helping him, assisting him on the field of play. Alan, who do you have a more influential player for the fourth shot of Steinheim?
Well, I see, you have made some salient points concerning Carlos, but just to veer away a little bit from what everybody would expect. Most people just expect everybody would just say Carlos Brathwaite. So I'm going with Salman Brown. I think as a player in his 40s, he was very effective in VPL1. But since then, he has not really, set the world alight as much as he would have wanted to. But I think that this VPL5, is an opportunity for him to do so. And it may even be one of his last opportunities to do so, because I think that a lot of the franchises, after a while, they would start moving away from a lot of these very experienced players if they're not putting in the performances. So I see this as a very important year for him, and I'm backing him to make an impact in the tournament.
It's a take based on instinct coming. I feel like
sometimes feel like that. Sometimes in cricket they just take a little, you just take a little punt here and there. I mean, you may not be the record, but sometimes, and Kenway would tell you, you as well as a captain, Kenway would tell you as a coach and as a leader as well, that sometimes you just feel that this is what is going to happen, and this person may have a good day, or this person may have a very influential time.
Influencing.
I think the captain, Gideon Poole, he has been here and there, with leadership on his shoulder, I think that he could come to the party and bring something big for his team. He has been inconsistent with his run scoring, and he's a very prolific striker of the ball as well. So I think that Gideon Pope would be very influential in this team, and the way that he leads his team could make a big impact on this tournament. Gideon Pope.
But we mentioned Carlos Bradley. He's one of 2 overseas players in the team. We also have Jerome Jones. Alan said if you could tell the fans what they can expect from Jerome Jones in this tournament.
Yeah, well, Jones, he is a former resident under-19 player. He's an all-rounder. So he'll be looking to contribute with both bat and ball in this tournament. We haven't seen him in the VPL before, and I, for one, have not seen him play on any occasion previously. But his stats would show that he's a pretty solid player, both with bat and ball, and so he'll be looking to make that impact for his team in this tournament. You're looking at the squads and you're realizing that the squads are dependent. They're getting more dependent on all-rounders. Mm-hmm. And so all-rounders are becoming the way to go, especially in the shortest version of the game. And so it will be interesting to see how quickly he gets settled in and accustomed to the conditions here at the Annesville playing field, and also within the dynamics of his team and how they utilize him.
All right. Well, they never made finals. Todd is the best. Where do you see them in this edition? VPL5, where do you see the strikers?
I see them getting into the playoffs. One of the reasons I think so this year, I look at the experience. You look at Carlos Bradley, look at somebody like Alston Baum. So the think tank is there, and they will provide a lot of assistance to Gideon, who is captain for the first time in the VPL. And so it will be very important to see how these players with that experience, Brathwaite, Bob, and Shallow, how they use that experience within the team, and how that rubs off on the other players. Have some young players there like Williams and so on. But it will be very important for the experienced players to lead from the front. And if that happens, I see them going into the playoffs in this competition.
Well, strikers, they have not been one of the teams that you would say up front, okay, I'll bet my money on them. But the combination of the team that they have here tells you that they mean business this year. Mm-hmm. We keep calling the big names, mm-hmm. But the thing is that would they do the job that they are asked to do? That is the question that strikers need to ask Brathwaite, the Salvan Brown, the Gideon Pope. Can they put those performances together? If that happens, then strikers would be a team that I would put as qualifying for the next round.
All right, well, thank you very much for your postscript. Guys, remember, we do a preview on all 6 teams in the tournament. Tune in at VPL10 on Instagram, VPL10, on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and we'll have answers to all these questions when the tournament begins on April 10th through to the 23rd. So stay tuned.